All right, guys, you know what time it is. Our remake, reboot news of the week. Almost a decade after The Magnificent Seven, Ethan Hawke is remaking another classic Western. Let's dive in, shall we? So Ethan Hawke, who, famous actor, done a ton of movies, a ton of stuff. He is producing a remake of the 1950s movie, The Gunfighter. And he's going to direct it. Okay. So he did a little directing last year or the year before? Oh, it was the year before. He directed his daughter, Maya Hawke. Spoiler alert if you didn't know that. Don't know how you couldn't know that because she looks exactly like her mother and her daddy. So 9 years ago, Ethan Hawke was in The Magnificent Seven, which is a remake on its own. That was a Western that had like Denzel Washington in it, Chris Pratt. It's about 7 gunmen from a variety of backgrounds who are brought together by a vengeful young widow to protect her town from the private army of a destructive industrialist. Oh, sounds so good. I don't know if I watched The Magnificent Seven. I don't think I did. And now I really want to. I really want to. Okay. So the 1950s Gunfighter movie starred originally Gregory Peck as Jimmy Ringo, a notorious gunfighter who rides into the town of Cannes looking to make peace with his estranged wife and meet the son he's never known before retiring from gunfighting. But my man is so good, his reputation is so vast that it works against him because not only does she not want anything to do with him, but he is constantly being pursued by young guns trying to make a name for themselves by taking out the number one gunfighter or slinger or whatever in town around. So those seeking fame, their fortune, and it says sooner or later, Ringo has a date with destiny. That sounded ominous. I'm not going to front. Like, this, I've never seen The Gunfighter. I've never seen it. This concept, what I'm hearing, though, sounds really good. I kind of want to see the original. And then when Ethan Hawke's remake comes out, I want to watch that. Ethan Hawke has cited The Gunfighter as one of his favorite films. Like, this is one of his favorite movies. So I like the sound of that because that tells me you're going to be very, very respectful to the material, to the story, and work really to bring that element into modern time. Full disclosure, Westerns are one of my least favorite genres of films. I do have a few that I like, but it's not like a lot. As a Quentin Tarantino fan, The Hateful Eight is definitely one that I love. There's also Netflix did one. I can't remember now. And of course, what's his name? Clint Eastwood. A couple of his old ones. Yeah, I'm not a huge Western lover, but there's a few. There's a few that I like. Tombstone. Like, there's a place for it. Don't get me wrong. I the genre needs to exist. I just don't have like a long list of movies I love from the genre. But this got my attention. Now, the thing about Gregory Peck, who starred in the original Gunfighter from 1950s, he is not new to remakes. No. So he starred in Cape Fear in 1962, the original one, about a lawyer who is, I guess, like stalked and threatened by a criminal, either he represented or put away. And it was even in the remake of that, because the remake of Cape Fear came out in 1991 with Robert De Niro. That was a good one. And I didn't realize that Gregory Peck had a role in that movie. So he came back for the remake, in another role, which was cool. And he also was in the original Omen from 1976. He did not come back for the remake, but I don't think he was alive when the remake came out. But he has been in some classics that have been remade. Some well, some not as well. So the thing about the Gunfighter that I didn't even know, according to this article, is that it was loosely based on real life Wild West outlaw Johnny Ringo, an associate of Ike Clanton and his gang in Tombstone, Arizona. Tombstone. Okay. All right, so that's all coming together. He made an enemy of Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday and was found dead of a possibly self-inflicted gunshot wound in 1882. His life and death have been dramatized in a number of westerns. Most memorable may be 1993's Tombstone, in which he is played by Michael Biehn and meets his end courtesy of Val Kilmer's Doc Holliday. It's all connected. It's all coming together. So again, as someone who's not, this huge crazy fan of westerns, I can get behind Gunfighter. And a remake of a movie that's like over 70 years old, that's justifiable. Bring it on. And bring it into the modern. Let me see what you do different with it. And by modern, I don't mean it's going to be set in 2026 or anything. Just how are you going to bring the story into today's society and climate? Like, what are you bringing to it? What are you doing differently with it, if at all? This is why I want to watch the original and the remake. It's nice to compare them, see how they were elevated. Like, I did the same thing with The Blob. I watched the 1950 something version, and then I watched the 1988 remake of The Blob. The remake really respected the source material and elevated it, brought in different elements, did different things to characters that I really loved. And obviously the practical effects looked better. And might add, I'm kind of surprised that they haven't tried to do a remake of The Blob since 1988. I don't know if there's any sequels, but they haven't done a remake. And I'm not trying to say they should, because I feel like now they're just dependent a lot on CGI, and there was a lot of practical effects with the blob and the gushing and everything in the old movies that I really appreciated. So, but all that aside, I like the story that I'm hearing. I like the sound of it. Again, I'm going to end up watching The Gunfighter, the new one and the old one. I don't know when, but I'm going to do that. I'm ready for this. I'm on board. Let's do this. Let's do this thing. Maybe I'll also rewatch Cape Fear. I didn't watch the original 1962 version, but I watched the 1991 version. I didn't even know it was a remake. But yeah, let me know you guys' thoughts on this. Are you a fan of the westerns? Does this Gunfighter movie sound interesting to you? I mean, if you like Tombstone, I feel like this is right up your alley. You're gonna love this. I just off what I'm reading and what I'm seeing. Yeah. It's a keeper. Hey guys, quick aside. If you like what you're seeing and you like what you're hearing, feel free to give the video a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can always be up to date on what's going on. And for those who don't know, I'm a writer, director, and producer with my own series, The Zombie Chronicles, which you can also check out on Amazon Prime or Tubi. And I am offering a screenwriting intro class March 1st. This is a class for beginning writers, those who want to write, or for experienced writers who need a refresher. We're going to be covering the basics of screenwriting, storytelling, characters, and dialogue. And it's going to be online, so you can access it from anywhere. And those looking for a way to help support further, you can check out my Patreon, NXG Global Productions, where I discuss more movie reviews, access to clips of my writers group recordings, first look at behind the scenes, shout outs on social media, posts, and more. I'm looking to grow the community and would love to have you be a part of it. Plug over.